I'm back again today with another easy 6x6 paper project. We're going to make these envelopes today. This one has a tie closure. Okay, very easy folding and cutting. I'm going to put this decoration on the front. And because I did not wait for my glue to dry, I had a little bit of damage up here in the corner. This is where your vintage tape comes in handy for repairs. And it looks good too. This one is a coin envelope. It folds in the middle. And I just added a little circle here to keep everything closed. Another very easy project. And I put this decoration on the front. It's just a label, plain label with a sticker and some bling. So go get your favorite papers and I'll meet you back here and we'll make these envelopes together. Okay, I've picked out these papers and they come from the paper studio that you get at Hobby Lobby. It's called Bees. And there's 20 designs in this pack, 3 of each. And very pretty blues and yellows and pinks. All right, so we're going to make 2 of this one and 2 of this one. We'll do this one first because it's a little bit easier. So I'm going to pick these 2 to make the envelope. Now, what's easy here is we're simply going to fold this together until it overlaps about 1/4 of an inch. Make sure everything is even and then you can burnish the sides down. Now on the bottom of this envelope, I folded it up about 1/2 inch. You can score that if you want to. The top flap is about 1 inch. I'm going to go ahead and score that. Make sure, yeah. I'll score, this is my bottom. And I'm going to score that at 1/2 inch. I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to score the top at 1 inch. And if you don't have a scoreboard, just use your ruler, line it up, and take, if you have an embossing tool like this, you can use that. You can also use your bone folder. Just about anything will work. All right, we're going to cut this part away, this part, and this part right down here on the bottom. Okay. I'm going to cut this at an angle up to that crease line. And then I'm going to cut over here on this side of what they call the mountain. I'm going to cut that also at an angle. Like that. And do the same thing over here. Cut it at an angle up to that corner. And then at another angle here. And that, the reason you cut it at an angle is when you bring these 2 things together, when you fold this up, you don't get any interference. And there is a little bit right there, so I'm going to snip that off. And now everything is clear at the bottom. All right, for the top, we're going to cut on this side of the score line up to that side fold line, and then we're going to cut straight down. Do the same thing over here, cut on this side of the score line. And then straight down. So there we have our envelope. And I'm going to round these corners. You can do that with a punch or with your scissors. I'm not very good with the scissors. All right. I'm going to make sure that this is clear. I'm going to cut that at a little bit of a deeper angle. And let's see how that looks. Yeah, that looks much better. Sorry, I'm being a bit of a perfectionist here. You don't have to do all this. It'll still work. All right, see, that looks a lot better. All right. And then we'll cut out a little circle here to keep that closed. So first I'm going to ink it. And I'm just using Vintage Photo. And if it's a section that's going to be showing, it's going to get inked. All right, now that's ready to fold down. To glue down. So I'm going to put glue right along this edge. And right along this edge. And I messed that up. We want to put it along the top side, not the bottom side. All right, and close it like that. And on the bottom, I just do around the edges so that the glue does not go up into the inside of the envelope or envelope, depending on what side of the country you're from. Okay. And then we need to make our little closure for right here. So I do have a piece of scrap here. I don't know if it is big enough, but I'm going to make my circle where I'm going to put my, actually no, we're going to do that to the other envelope. Really would like to get more of that B right there. Yeah. Okay. And I have some Tim Holtz packaging here, and we'll cut 2 of those. And when you glue those together, they hold really well. Nice and stiff. And then let's glue this to the top of that. All right, that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to go ahead and ink this. All right, we just want enough up there to catch the envelope and hold it in. So we're going to just glue the lower half of this. Just enough to adhere it to the envelope. And eyeball the center. That looks pretty good. And then just allow that to dry. So let's do something for the front. Actually, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and make the rest of the envelopes, and then if we have time, we'll come back and decorate. All right, on this one, we can do the same thing. We're going to fold it in until it overlaps in the center about 1/4 of an inch. Burnish that down. Then we want to score one end at 1/2 an inch. Turn it around and score the other at 1 inch. Cut this out, this out, this out, and this out. And guys, you can find tons and tons of videos on YouTube about how to make these envelopes. I love to use them in my journals, stick them in pockets and stuff. They're also pretty cool to use at Christmas to put gift cards in. I don't use the ones that you get in the store. I usually make my own. In your journals, you can put tags in them, little pieces of ephemera that can be used in your journal. Okay, let's see how that folds together. That actually looks really good. We got clearance down here. Make sure this folds over good. And it does. All right, let's round those corners. And ink. All right, that looks really good. So we'll go ahead and glue that down. All right, we'll take this piece of scrap that we cut off of the envelope, cut out a circle. Cut 2 circles out of this. a little bit of glue here at the bottom half. Center. And we'll put that aside and come back and decorate. That's really pretty. Okay. On the next one, let me clean some of this stuff out. Man, I could make a mess. Okay. So we're going to make this one now. So our bottom is 1/2 inch and the top flap is 1.5 inches. You can make that whatever you want it to be. So this folds all the way over to the edge. So we're going to make a little hinge that is 1/2 inch. Our bottom is 1/2 inch. And our top flap is 1.5 inches. Okay, the whole video of making this has gone. So anyway, we'll keep going with it as far, and then I have another one that we'll do on camera. I'm not sure what happened. Okay, before I glue all of this down, we want to go ahead and put in our little policy closures. And I have cut those out and mounted them on some packaging. This is, I think, this is a 1/2 inch circle punch. Our brad will go in there. Let's get this one inked. All right, because we need to have room for our string, I have this little thing, and where did I see this? Oh, Victoria Designs she had one of those, and I thought, oh, that is the coolest thing, so I made myself one. It keeps a nice little space in there for your string. And all I did was cut it out with a craft knife. All right, and now we want to put this in over here. Get those spread down. All right, on this one, I'm going to put masking tape over top of them. But on this part, we want to put some sort of decorative paper in there. And this tape will just keep things from catching. Put a little bit on here. All right, take this off. And let's find something to put up here. Now, I used the scrap that would have fit here, I wasn't thinking, to make the little circles. So we're going to have to find something else to use. I have some tape here. It's not quite wide enough, but I think it'll be fine. And this is Tim Holtz. It's the linen tape. I cut a piece to go across there, and I think that looks fine. Let's straighten up this edge. and then cut it about right there. That's really sticky tape. Right now we can go ahead and glue that up. See, I think that looks okay. The paper probably would have looked better, but I think that looks fine. All right, so let's glue up this. Get that closed. Glue the bottom. I just have some string here. All right, then we can cut this off. And then we'll come back and decorate the front. So that is so cute. All right. Now, since you didn't see me do that one, we will do another one. This one I have already scored. So we have a score line 1/2 inch. We scored a 1/2 inch on for the bottom flap. Right here. We scored 1.5 inches for this top flap, and for the side we scored a 1/2 inch. Okay, so this folds over like this. This comes over to meet that edge. Burnish that really good. All right, and then we want to get rid of this part, this part, this part, and this part. Again, we're going to cut. Remember to cut at an angle. Cut on this side of the score line at an angle. Same thing over here. Just like that. Cut at an angle. And for this is the top flap, so we're just going to cut straight down like that. We're on this side of the score line, straight down. And then get rid of this, cut up at an angle. And there's your envelope. We're going to round the corners. Make sure nothing is in the way of the flaps, and that all looks good. All right, so now we need to make holes for our policy closure. I'm going to come down, I'm going to find my center first. There it is. Come down about through, and I'm just eyeballing about 3/4 of an inch. Right there. And then I'm going to take one of these lines on the ruler and line it up with the top of my envelope and down the edge of the envelope to make sure we're square. And then I'm going to mark where I want the next one, about roughly right here. Okay. Gonna punch the hole. Punch the hole. Okay, we're going to use this to cover up this area right here. And I need to cut 2 circles, but I don't know if this paper is wide enough. Nope, it's not. So let's find something else to use. That will work. This is just some scrap paper from another project. It's yellow. So we're going to use that. So I'm going to let those dry before we mess with them any further. And let's go ahead and ink our envelope. And I have no idea why I am working over top of my scoreboard. It's getting nastier and nastier by the minute. All right, let's go ahead and put our brads in. Come on, you can do it. I'm going to get my little handy dandy spacer here. Turn this over and I'm going to cover that with a piece of masking tape. Let's go ahead and put this one in. And we're going to cover that with masking tape. And just make sure you get this tape pushed down really good. And as usual, I have glue everywhere. All right, go ahead and take that out. We don't need it anymore. Let's go ahead and cover up this section right here, just in case. I'm going to put this down here to make sure I don't smash it. There we go. All right, so we need to cut this down to fit. Cut it about right there and about right there. All right, I think that's going to work for me. And we will round those corners. I'm going to use the same punch that I used for the flap of the envelope so that it sort of matches. Ink that up. And then we'll get that glued down. Now we can take this out and go ahead and finish gluing everything down. Glue your flap. Glue this bottom flap. And give it a little more ink here in the crease. And then we'll put some string on. And if you want to, you can put a dangle on there. And there you have it, guys. I was going to decorate this, but this has gone on videos longer than I intended it to be. But you can see here are these two. But you can see here how I decorated them. My prototypes. And then on this one, we added this. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Sorry about the little section of missing video. I'm going to go get cleaned up and give my scoreboard a nice bath. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll give it a try. These are, like I said, you can mass make these and keep them to use in your journals. They come in very, very handy, and they're just so cute. So I hope you'll give them a try, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And I hope, most of all, that you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.